They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, as you know, we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant, they can move the king. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless.
Welcome everyone to the first race of the season. We are here with the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series presented by Heusinkveld. And what a race we have in store for you here this afternoon at Long Beach. First race of the season. Oh boy, we have a whole lot in store for you. Qualifying is currently wrapping up at the moment. I'll go ahead and bring you the schedule that we have for this season, because this season is about to get absolutely wild. 6 races only in the US, and then 6 international races as we bring you the schedule. This week is Long Beach. Next week it is the Ruskogen Motor Center. And then we come back to the US for a couple races with Sonoma, newly rescanned technically speaking, and we're going with the Indy 05 to 07 layout, no less. And then week number 4 will hold Road Atlanta full, not the short layout this time, but the full layout. So that's going to be a challenge on its own, just with the straightaway. Alejandro Hermanos Rodriguez, the Mexico City circuit, the Grand Prix circuit specifically, will be hosting the 5th race of the season. Donington Park and Oulton Park, both the Motorsport Vision tracks over in Europe, host week 6, week 7. Hungaroring, week number 8. Then go to Indianapolis for the main road course, Tsukuba for the 2000 Moto circuit, then Charlotte for the new Roval 2025 circuit, and then rounding out the season with the Sebring circuit, specifically the club layout. A whole lot in store for this season. Thanks for joining us on the Racing Line Network. Welcome. If you have not seen last season, it's available on the YouTube channel on a playlist conveniently located in the, well, playlist tab. But let's go ahead and get a look at what these drivers will be having in store. We got 40 seconds left in qualifying. Not sure if anyone else is necessarily on a lap. There might be one driver, but I don't believe they'll make it, so we'll go ahead and show you the starting grid for this race. Nicholas Shepard, defending series champion, starts off on the front row in the first place position, with Ishmael Ablal starting off in second. Eugenio Pulici, I believe that's how it's pronounced, he will start off in the third place position, just about 2/10 behind the front row. Donnie Moffitt starts off in fourth. Fifth place is Michael Coates. Sixth place is James White. Familiar name in terms of Michael Coates, just happily hovering around the top 5. Charles Wolf will qualified off in the 7th place position. Not too far behind is Matthew Bartlett, only 100th of a second, just about behind in 8th. 9th place is Marcio Paulino, and then 10th place is Kyle J. Genski. 11th place is Gregorio Moreno Jr. Tony Wallace starts off in 12th. 13th place is Kevin Kramer. 14th place is Matt Mullins. 15th place is Carlos Rodri. 16th place is Adrian Jimenez. Oliver Heinricho starts off in 17th. 18th place is Alex Theologus. Jesse Gonzalez, the last of the drivers to put in a qualifying time, to 19th. 20th place is River Page, and 21st is Mick Edo Beervelt, I believe is how it's pronounced. And that is the starting grid for this afternoon's race. Relatively in the early morning hours, as we'll go ahead and bring you the live pictures of what these drivers will be heading towards and what we see on the racetrack here. Only a few drivers left to grid. The starting lights always at the ready here. Only 3 more drivers, 2 more drivers left to grid. Familiar name on the front row in terms of Nicholas Shepard, the defending series champion. If I remember correctly, won 8 of the 12 races just last season. 7 of which I believe are all in a row. So a name to challenge is Nicholas Shepard over on the right-hand side of his screen. That black and red Mazda. Ishmael Ablal on the front row as well on that black and gold. And then we got Eugenio Pulici in that third place position. Michael Coates has gridded 1 more driver to grid. Everyone's gridded. 21 Mazda MX-5 Cup cars on the front row, all ready, all poised to get going. Eyes on the flag stand. And we are down in the way. James White with a jump start penalty right off the start, and then number 13. He had jumped the start, black flag immediately. I believe that would be a drive-through penalty. Top 5 as you were, as we head down into the first corner. Does anyone try and make a move? Does Ablal try and challenge early on? Not quite yet. Side by side in the back between Matthew Bartlett and Kyle Genski. Through the fountain section we go as everyone single files themselves out. A few drivers side by side here in this next row. Some of them nearly making contact here for about 15th place spot. Taking a look at Matt Mullins' contact just up ahead. That is Carlos Rodri, who is into the wall. And just like that, after some contact, he is once again going. Matt Mullins, however, one of the drivers who had spun a little bit later on. So Matt Mullins, Carlos Rodri, both on the down end. Beervelt has a black flag as well, potentially a jump start penalty, as some drivers were very, very close to making contact there with the wall. But everyone does continue forward, and go ahead and get a replay for you here. So Carlos Rodri on the outside of Matt Mullins here. Makes a little bit of contact, just turns in too early, I think. And then Matt Mullins himself, does he just spin here? It might be a solo spin. Yep, just launches the car over the curbs. Oh, man. Launches the car over the curbs. Jesse Gonzalez has also DNF'd, apparently. Not just a why. We'll stick with the number 7 of Gonzalez here, but he has just been noted for a DNF for towing back to pit road. Not sure if it's a connection issue of some sort. Or if he had damage, he may have had damage now that I think about it. Yep, into the wall again. And yeah, he decides to park it there. And instead of taking a tow, just decides to pull it behind the wall effectively. So, back to live pictures. It's as you were for, well, first and second, because Donnie Moffitt has gotten by Polici for the third place position. Those curbs are going to be a challenge and a half here, especially with that wall always lurking in the background on the driver's left-hand side. But everyone continuing on for the most part, and much like last season, Nicholas Shepard has decided that the clean air is his best friend, and he will not leave it alone in any sense whatsoever. Hard into the braking zone we go through what is effectively a parking lot here. Oh, sliding on the brakes, I think, is Polino in that black and pink number 10 car. Go ahead and take a look at that one more time from, I would say from up above, but not exactly the best camera angle, so go ahead and try this one more time. There's Polino in the pink MX-5 car. Just barely gets tagged. You can kind of see it. He just barely got tagged. As we go back down track side, taking a look at Ishmael LeBlanc, who is chasing down, or at least staying within striking distance of Nicholas Shepard. Speaking of drivers being in striking distance, we have Michael Coast as we ride on board. Riding on board from effectively the driver's eye perspective. You can see the speed right there on the dash, so not necessarily necessary for us. We can see 102, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just about 109 miles an hour. You can see how much Coates is moving the wheel around, trying to keep the MX-5 under control, just fighting the MX-5. Look how much wheel lock that you have to give to get through the hairpin. It is so much, a full 180. In fact, while we still have a chance, oh, maybe not, hold on a second, because Oliver Page and River Page and Oliver Heinricho have swapped positions over in the hairpin. So the 11 of Heinricho has gotten by the, oh, look at that. Oh, man, just 11 Heinricho put off by River Page, who very clean pass as well, I would say. It's a fair game. The gap was there. You see the brakes lighting up. Oh man, just getting by the Acura tire bundles there. Again, just the brake discs on the 11. Trying to play defensive to Jimenez and the number 15, who's right all over the back bumper. Here comes Jimenez. Great switchback as they'll go side by side and just keeps it off the wall. Maybe he leaves a little bit of paint on there as a souvenir. Kevin Kramer just up ahead, goes ahead. Let's River Page through in that neon green number 9. Definitely some new names as Kramer looks to the inside. Here comes Jimenez back side by side with Heinricho. Granted, it's for 14th place, but still a battle nonetheless. A very fun battle as well, as these two still remain side by side. Both of them will be hard on the brakes, trying to outbrake each other here. The 15 of Jimenez tries to at least maybe, by the looks of it, switch back Heinricho. He is all over the curbs trying to figure out if there's any sort of possible way to get by. He will have a clear passing opportunity here as they'll go down the main straightaway. So not close enough to make a move as of yet for Adrian Jimenez for this 14th place battle here. Alex Villalobos as well, lurking in the background in that 16th place spot. Look at this. All over the back bumper is going to be Jimenez here. Potentially could try and make a little bit of a move here. We'll see how things fare. Logos lurking in the background, just watching this battle happen ahead of him. This is something that he does want to see as Moreno gets passed by Tony Wallace. Go ahead and focus back on this battle for 14th place. Here comes Jimenez down to the inside. Hard on the brakes he goes. Ooh, driver's left a front bumper over on the... Oh, wait, that's Kevin Kramer. Kevin Kramer is out. He has pulled it at least behind the wall, but he is out. Kevin Kramer into the wall, left the front bumper on the racetrack to boot. I'll go ahead and see exactly what happened here. It's just by the corner exit. So I think Kramer may have, I heard the noise as well. Kramer may have just nailed the tire. Wow. Even from corner entry there, he was cutting it close by millimeters. So I'm very fascinated that he, how close was he? We'll see from this angle here. Oh, he hit the inside wall. Sorry for peeking the microphone there. The realization hit. Oh man, I feel for Kevin. I definitely feel for Kevin there. Back to the live battle, still for P14 by the way, as with a slide to defend, Jimenez gets up ahead to what is now P13. This is effectively the, I would say the closest battle on the racetrack, or just the battle to look at on the racetrack here. So these three will be battling for the 13th place spot. River Page just up ahead, you see as he goes through. Include 3 in terms of Alex Logos. He may not be actively involved in this battle by passing the other 2 drivers ahead of him, but in case these 2 do wreck, he is within a very advantageous position here. And speaking of advantageous position, nope. Oliver tried to look to the inside in the braking zone, nothing doing as of there. Looking back up ahead, Donnie Moffitt has gone past Eugenio Polici. We'll go ahead and focus on this battle for the meantime for the 3rd place spot, as they'll be heading down into the braking zone here. We got Donnie Moffitt, Polici, Coates, and Wolf all within this top 4 battle. Look at in the background here, though, Matthew Bartlett and Marcelio Polino side by side, sliding on the entry to the fountain section is Marcelio Polino. And then back between these 2, Jimenez goes up to P13, keeps it off the wall. Perfect line, I would say. So got fair share of battles here throughout the field, and we still have 20 minutes left. Looks like these laps are taken by a lot faster than normal. As hard on the brakes goes Polino, Bartlett, and Kyle Jaginski, all within this battle as well. Jaginski in that this white and orange, metallic orange as well. Now that I see that number 4. Matthew Bartlett we've seen a couple times here in the top split. I don't believe we've seen Polino or Genski, maybe Genski for 1 race last season. But Genski is trying to make his name known here. So go side by side, a little bit of hip and shoulder though to Matthew Bartlett, and he gets by up to P8. It's Bartlett trying to return the favor. Yep, a little bit bump there into the hairpin. Which hilariously may have been a little bit, judging by the distance that Bartlett has given Genski here out of the hairpin, may not have been intentional. But for 3rd place, it's Polici, Bartlett, Coates, and Wolf, all for the 3rd place spot. Michael Coates overcooks the brakes, nails the tire wall, and it's 3 wide into the fountain section. And they all make it through. They're all facing forward, but for Coates, he will have heavy front end damage, or heavy wheel damage. You can see just how much he's trying to fight the car here. He is all out of sorts here. At least down the straightaway it seems to be okay, but not the best thing for him. Polici is out ahead of this battle. Michael Coates has pulled off the racetrack. Yeah, he's pulling well behind the wall here. He knows that that's just not going to work out too well. Contact with the wall made there. Jimenez and Heinrich go side by side once again for what is now 12th place. This continues up. This could be a battle for the 3rd place position. Theologus is right here on the back end of this battle, but he's not trying to make a move just yet. Thought he was going to slide out wide there. Whole host of battles here throughout the field. Donnie Moffitt, Charles Wolfe, 5th and 4th respectively. So Charles Wolfe now at the head of this group for 4th place, as Gino Polici can finally relax a little bit now that he's quite a ways ahead, about 2 seconds ahead of the next car behind, that being Charles Wolfe here. So it's Wolfe, Moffitt, Polino, and Genski from 4th to 7th. Bartlett on his own. Wallace kind of on his own. Could go Moreno Jr. as well. A little bit on his own as well. Not on his own is either Heinrich or Jimenez. These two still battling side by side once again. Here we go. Down into, I believe it's effectively turn number 2. Who's going to win out on the brakes here? Could be Jimenez. He does. Fantastic work on the brakes there as they make their way through the fountain section here. Cutting it real close to the wall are both of these drivers, especially the 15. I think he's very, very precise here. Over the curbs he goes. Very tricky section because those curbs will unsettle pretty much any car that goes over those curbs. And this is bringing in Carlos Rodri, who we have not seen since the start of this race when he got spun on the opening lap. So wait for the 21 car of Rodri to stick it out and just persevere, just go through the race as is. And next thing you know, he's 15th, just a little bit before halfway, as Moreno and Page will be battling for the 10th place spot here. How much will Page try to defend here down the straightaway? Doesn't get a good exit of the hairpin, so he doesn't really have a chance to defend here against Moreno, as Moreno will be side by side, fully alongside, wheel to wheel, drag race down the back. I believe if that was at the start finish line, that would have been Moreno if that was the finish, but we still have pretty much half distance to go. So there's Tony Wallace in the foreground. Moreno first on the brakes, but not by, oh man. Oh, Page, I knew it. Yeah, he was going to overshoot. He just missed the tire bundles. But he does nail the wall there on the outside. Look how precise Jimenez is here with his car placement. You could see there from the previous shot. He is just using every single millimeter of the racetrack here. Absolutely impressive driving here. Oh, well, it scrapes the wall there just a little bit. But I mean, a little bit of scrape paint never hurt a car here. But he is absolutely nailing the precision here in that number 15. I think enough to the point that he's actually pulling a gap to Oliver Heinricho. The Logus and Rodri there, tacking on to the tail end of this effectively a 2-car battle for 12th place. I'll jump up ahead to 4th place, where Charles Wolfe will be trying to defend against Donnie Moffitt here. Though with the gap that he has, not really a worry, I would say, until we head into the braking zone. Hard on the brakes for all 4 of these drivers. Looks like they will make it through. Tony Wallace might get caught by River Page, and I was going to say a lot sooner than I thought, because here comes River Page into the fountain section. They are side by side. They do make contact. Wallace just saves it, keeps it off the wall. And with a little bit of a bump in the pass, maybe not the most intentional, River Page up to 9th place, and that's all from a mistake that Wallace made on corner entry. Too much on the brakes here, and a slide from Page to boot. And, well, I would argue that Page kind of was there. Maybe not fully alongside necessarily, but he was there. He had the nose there. I don't blame Wallace for trying to close the gap as Donnie Moffitt gets past Charles Wolfe here for the 4th place position. Let's make their way under the Firestone Bridge towards the hairpin they go. Moreno side by side with Tony Wallace for 10th place. Wallace with the preferred lane here will retain that 10th place spot. Still sliding is River Page. He is practically, I would say if I didn't know any better, it's practically clutch kicking the MX-5 around here. I think that's the phrase. I could be wrong about that. But regardless, we move on back to the 4th place battle. No move into turn number 1 just yet from Wolfe. So Moffitt will retain that 4th place spot here as we go into the fountain section once again. Let's check back in on that battle for 10th place. Single file for now. And, just keeping it off the wall there. Look at this. Carlos Rodri on the battle here, on the move. Up to, just keeps it in line, up to 13th place. After getting qualifying 15th after getting spun on the first lap, technically being dead last for a bit of the good majority of it, that pace is starting to show here. As he is going to be launching himself over the curbs. He is going to be challenging Jimenez here for the 12th place spot. Sliding is Tony Wallace here. Just caught that pass as Moreno makes his way through. And just scraping the outside wall is River Page. For 4th place, moving back up. No move between Wolfe and Moffitt here. Using more of the curb is Donnie Moffitt on corner entry of the hairpin, creating a little bit of accordion effect. Yeah, as all this happens, 1st place still Nicholas Shepard. Could be leading, effectively lights to flag here. We'll see how things fare in the last 11 or so minutes as these drivers are trying to utilize all of the available racetrack. A little bit too much in terms of Polino. That causes Bartlett to, or Genski, sorry, to stack up a little bit. Back up to the 10th place spot. Moreno retains that 10th place spot, although I'm not sure for how much longer with that scrape of the tire bundles and the outside wall. And anyone here makes contact? No. Making a mental note to have a dedicated camera for that specific corner in the future. Kyle Genski moves his way up to 6th place. As Polino will probably try and make a move here. Does he show the nose? Nope, he will just stay on the tire tracks here. Genski scrapes the left side wall. Polino in a good spot to try and make a move here. Does he go for it? No, he backs off a little bit early. Look at Genski sliding his way through the corner. Not sure how much is the car sliding or just the rotation of the MX-5. Body roll, more specifically. You can sling these cars around a lot of corners, that's for sure. Michael Coates has decided to, after towing, he has decided to pull it behind the virtual wall officially. Unless I'm reading that a little bit too late. But Kevin Kramer in line for at least a 18th place spot. As we just right on board looking at this potential battle here amongst the drivers from 4th to 7th. Heard that one. And that one. You can see just how precise you have to be here. If you're not precise, you do lose a little bit of time here. At the front of this battle, riding on board, looking back from Donnie Moffitt. was about to say we haven't necessarily had the chance to do so. That is lap traffic. That is Kevin Kramer. I was about to say, was their driver in line for a possible pass, but no, Palucci's right up here. And then that lap car, that green, white, and red car, blue, white, and red car. On the outside is Kevin Kramer, letting these drivers through. And if we have a chance next lap, we'll go ahead and ride on board for a lap, because usually we do that. We haven't really had the chance to do so just yet from all these battles that have been taking place through the field, which could escalate to a 9th place battle here between Moreno and Page. Could bring in Tony Wallace as well. Look at Wallace just hard on the brakes. For that 13th or 12th place battle, ooh, man. Jimenez has created himself a gap of about 1.5 seconds between himself and Heinricho. So it's Heinricho and Theologus battling for the 13th place spot. Carlos Rodriguez has fallen back a little bit from these two in the 15th place position. So effectively the closest battle on track is debatably between 9th, 10th, and 11th, and then 4th through 7th, depending on how you want to look at it. Speaking of 4th through 7th, let's take a look once again here as these drivers will make their way through into the hairpin. No passing opportunities as of yet, so we'll go ahead and right on board the number 10 machine. Oh man, with a slide out of the corner. We're going to ride on board with Kyle J. Genske here to see what it's like to take a lap around the Long Beach Raceway. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't want to say anything. I just want to let the moment play out there. Just want to let the moment play out there. We're in an advantageous pass by Kyle Genske. He tried. He was there. He had the opportunity. Just wasn't able to get it done quite fully there. As we'll go ahead and run it back from a external camera shot to see what that passing opportunity looked like here. Hard on the brakes he goes. And, oh, just a little bit too much speed. Didn't run to the tire bundles. And he does effectively, I would think, give back the position. And there was just a simple connection blip from Donnie Moffitt. I was about to say, I'll be very surprised if Donnie Moffitt was at the point to get disqualified automatically based off of incident points. Oh, Ishmael Ablal, I was about to say he was closing the gap. You can see him shaking the wheel, trying to effectively clear the digital cobwebs, I would say, at that point. But he was closing the gap to Nicholas Shepard. How much wheel damage does he have is the question. I'll take a look down the straightaway. But Ishmael has been closing the gap a little bit by about 10th. I'll see how this plays out. Down the straightaway he goes. Everything seems relatively fine, I would say. Yeah, some of you are paying attention to the gap between the leaders. Well, it has closed. It's about 1 second at the most. During that battle, it was during that battle, it was about a half second. So I think Ishmael Abloh might have a chance here. He just needs to clean up the exit just a little bit. Nicholas Shepard as well should probably take that advice as well, because he will... man, I get being precise, but you don't have to be so precise that you're millimeters off the wall every single opportunity here. Taking a look at Gregorio Moreno Jr. He's going to make a pass attempt here for the 9th place spot. Past River Page he goes. Does he make it off the wall? Yes. Page not able to make a rebuttal in terms of a passing opportunity here with the fountain section. They go. The battle for 13th has kind of settled for now, I would say. Theologus in striking distance, if you will, in case anything does happen. So this time by it will be officially 2 laps to go. If we can... oh, well, that's not going to work. On paper, it is 2 laps to go. In fact, it might be... yep, nope, definitely 2 laps to go this time by once we get to the start-finish. So we'll see how things fare here. What's going to be the lap time comparison this time between the top 2 drivers? And with about 29 extra seconds, give or take. Just faster by about, not even a tenth, but a half a tenth. Last time by it was Ishmael Abloh. Both drivers did a 1 minute 33 second lap time. Shepard did a 33.202. Oof. Abloh nearly avoided the wall there, did a 33.134 as the previous lap. Best lap between these two, the better lap was Ishmael Abloh as well, so on paper he is faster, but oh man, both these drivers battling left, right, and center. Getting 2 laps to go. Next time by, once they get to the start-finish line, it will be the final lap. I think we should, well, that's not going to work either. A little bit of sliding in the back from, I believe, from Polino. Holds on to it regardless. Every single time they get close to the wall, I feel like somebody's going to nail it. Well, Abloh has been closing the gap over the last, give or take, 10 minutes just about. Can he close the gap enough to try and make a move here? Shepard's going to make his way through the hairpin here, and this time by, it will be the final lap. So it's not time plus 1 lap. In case you are new here, welcome to iRacing. Welcome to the Raceline Network. It is not time plus 1 lap. It is just based off of time alone. So white flag this time by. And once that time runs out, it will switch to the final lap. So last opportunity for Ishmael Abloh. Shepard knows that's the last opportunity as well as he tries to break the slipstream. Down in the first turn they go. Both of them luckily avoid the concrete barrier here. I think Shepard may have scraped it just on corner entry there. It's a matter of who is willing to extend the track limits as much as possible. Shepard, the defending series champion, absolutely dominant from last season. Looking to start off this season with a win. Ishmael Abloh has always been in the podium positions, millimeters off the wall there. Trying to take all of the racetrack possible, but he'll have to be careful here on corner entry. Shepard goes through, Abloh goes through. A little bit of contact to the wall for Shepard. That could put him off pace just a little bit, and Abloh knows that. Shepard knows that. He will go defensive, tries to break the slipstream. Back to the racing line he goes. Last opportunity for Abloh as they'll make their way under the Firestone Bridge, down to the hairpin. Can Abloh make any last gasp effort? Stays in line for now. Does he put the bumper to Shepard? Potentially. No, it's going to be down to the slipstream, down to the start-finish line for the first race of the season. It is going to be Nicholas Shepard going defensive at the last second. He wins at Long Beach, and it's going to be a battle for the 5th place spot between Genski and Moffitt. Moffitt will go to the outside lane, tries to show the nose. It's a drag race to the line, and Kyle Genski gets that 5th place spot. For 10th place, for 9th place rather, it's going to be Gregorio Moreno Jr., 10th place River Page, and Tony Wallace is 11th, and that battle for 13th is still ongoing. Through the last corner they go. Oliver Heinricho does get by Alex Theologus in the end, and what a race. What a race that was. What a way to kick off the season for the defending series champion, Nicholas Shepard, your race winner here. First of, will it be many? Can he go back-to-back to close out 2025? That is the question. As the field will go ahead and finish up their laps, I'll go ahead and show you the finishing results from this event. What a fantastic event this was. Battles throughout the entire field as well. As we'll go ahead and show you that's the schedule. Oh, we'll get a look at the schedule here after this, though. Nicholas Shepard, officially the winner, only by 0.2 of a second here, though, over Ishmael Leblanc. Eugenio Polici finishes 3rd place. Very quiet day for him, but I would say that in a positive way for Polici. Rounds out the last spot on the podium. Charles Wolfe, once again, getting a top 5. Finishes in 4th place. Kyle Genske finishes in 5th amongst the battle between himself, Charles Wolfe, and Donnie Moffat, who gets 6th. Marcio Polino finishes in the 7th place position. Matthew Bartlett finishes in the 8th place spot. Gregorio Moreno Jr. finishes 9th, and 10th place is River Page, just rounding out the top 10 with a little bit of a battle by the end. Tony Wallace finishes in 11th place. And then the next group that we had battling was Adrian Jimenez, Oliver. No, wait, that's not even Oliver. I should know his name. I should have known his name was familiar. I think it's Olivier. I could be wrong with that one. It might be Oliver, just with an extra I. I'm going to go with Olivier for now. But Heinricho finishes off in the 13th place spot. Alexi Logus, tail end of that battle, finishes 14th. And then Carlos Rodri, great day for Carlos, I would say. Props to Rodri for finishing out the race after getting spun on the first lap. 15th place, nothing to, on paper, not the best, but I mean, he finished the race. I would say that's pretty commendable. Matt Mullins finishes in 16th, 17th place, James White. And then Mick Edo, Beervelt finishes in the 18th place spot. Michael Coates, 19th, Kevin Kramer, 20th. And then 21st being rounded out by Jesse Gonzalez in last place. So now we move on to the schedule. We just finished Long Beach, so that TBD will be updated for next week. But next week we head to the Redskogen Motor Center, and then Sonoma, Road Atlanta, Full Circuit, Mexico City, Darlington Park, Alton Park, Hungaroring, Indy Road Course, Tsukuba 2000, the Moto Circuit specifically, Charlotte Roval 2025, and then Sebring to kick off December and end out the season. But what a race this was. Thanks everyone for joining along. And we will go ahead and kick it over to next week's race, which we will focus on at the Redskogen Motor Center. And boy, oh boy, this track is quite challenging. Even I need to put in some more laps on this. But this is what awaits these drivers for the next race here in the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Series presented by Heusinkveld on the iRacing service. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will hope to see you all next week here on the Racing Line Network. And we'll see you all in Redskogen.